Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, a look at legislation that would require animal control officers to be trained on the signs of child abuse and report it. And President Trump talks about rural health care during an event today at the White House.
And we're talking wintry mixed chances as we're heading overnight.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Rain is pushing into parts of the region right now, but that should change to snow later tonight. Meteorologist Megan Dusmo has the latest on this First Alert Weather Day. Megan.
Thanks, Steve. As you're heading out the door this morning, many folks are still looking at mostly sunny skies, but as we head more to our western counties, that's where that rain is really starting to pick up in portions of Wayne, Pulaski, Rockcastle, Jackson County. And as you travel towards Rowan, already starting to see a little bit of that wintry mix. Now that will continue throughout the course of the evening hours. And as we're heading overnight, going to really keep up that wintry mix trend for the next couple of hours. Now, in terms of those feels like temperatures, we're going to see a mixture of some upper 30s and low 40s. Some folks feeling a lot colder than those actual temperatures right now, and it's only going to keep on dropping as we're heading overnight, with overnight lows in a mixture of the low to mid 30s, which is going to allow for those wintry mix chances. And it's only going to get colder even as we're continuing into the weekend, getting very cold as we're heading into your next work week. So here's a look at the temperatures over the course of the next couple hours, dropping down to those 30s by the time we're heading into about 3 a.m. Steve.
All right, Megan, thank you. You can always track the snow inside our free First Alert Weather app. Scan the QR code right there in the corner for links to download our news and weather apps. You'll be able to get severe weather alerts sent right to your phone, see the latest closings, and sign up for breaking news alerts. In Wayne County, West Virginia, customers of Wayne Water and Sewer are being told not to drink or cook with city water until further notice. This is a precaution after an oil leak earlier this week. Vandalism at a mine power substation caused transformer oil to leak into the waterways. The town is flushing the lines and are providing water to customers who need it at Wayne Town Hall. President Trump unveiled a new $50 billion program designed to ensure rural communities have access to health care facilities. The president touted the program at a White House roundtable this morning. All 50 states will receive at least $100 million a year during the next 5 years. That money is meant to shore up health care coverage in rural communities where many hospitals are facing financial strain.
These funds will go to empowering rural hospitals, strengthening their workforce, modernizing facilities and technology, and ensuring that rural Americans get world-class health care in their own community, right smack in their own community, like they've never had meetings that are very...
President Trump invited Republican lawmakers to the ceremony as he looks ahead to the upcoming midterm elections. Many Democrats support the rural health care initiative, but point out that the $50 billion program pales in comparison to the more than $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid Republicans passed in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Today's roundtable was part of President Trump's overall rollout of his solution to the health care crisis, dubbed the Great Health Care Plan. According to the White House, the plan would codify the Trump administration's most favored nation deals to get Americans the same low prices for prescription drugs that people in other countries pay. The actual work, though, is up to Congress. The plan is more of a wish list turned to-do list for lawmakers. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul introduced the End Welfare for Non-Citizens Act yesterday. It's designed to end the appropriation of taxpayer-funded benefits, including Medicaid and SNAP, to anyone in the United States without legal status. The senator said, quote, with a national debt exceeding $38 trillion, Washington should not be running a welfare system on autopilot. Right now, Republicans control the House of Representatives, but Democrats are closing in. The House now has one of the slimmest margins in nearly 100 years, and it could shape what Congress gets done. WYMT Washington correspondent Stephen Goen reports.
On Capitol Hill, the Republican majority in the House of Representatives just keeps shrinking, with every vote now a test of the party's ability to govern.
The margin's going to be as slim as it ever has been.
That reduction in the GOP caucus, starting with the resignation of Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a former Trump ally turned foe.
You know, politics has not been a safe place for me.
Then there was the unexpected death of California Representative Doug LaMalfa, then a car accident which seriously injured Indiana Representative Jim Baird, leaving the 80-year-old potentially sidelined in future votes. The current balance in the House, now 218 to 213, which means Speaker Mike Johnson can only afford to lose 1 or 2 members on a party line vote. Johnson not worried yet.
We have been working with a razor-thin majority since I became Speaker. But this is the group that has demonstrated over and over and over and over that we defy expectations and make history.
In the short term, the math could shift with special elections in key states, then again with midterms in the fall and dozens of congressmen set to retire. Meanwhile, Democrats have signaled they're ready to retake the House and impose more oversight on President Trump.
When we are in the majority, we will continue to ask tough questions, and we will have more tools to use.
For now, political analysts say that Republicans have little margin for error if they hope to carry out their agenda, and even less room for infighting.
Right now, Republicans really are playing defense on all fronts, and that's their priority at the moment. Really, what's affecting their ability to legislate is the fact they don't agree amongst each other about what they need to legislate on.
Now, with that razor-thin margin, even small defections matter. In the past few months, some Republicans have shown they're willing to side with Democrats, forcing votes on the Epstein files and the Affordable Care Act, bypassing Speaker Johnson. In Washington, I'm Stephen Gowen.
President Trump suggested that he may put tariffs on countries that do not back his plan to control Greenland. It comes as a bipartisan group of lawmakers traveled to Denmark today to show support for the Danish territory. This week, European nations sent small numbers of additional troops to the island at Denmark's request. On another hot-button foreign policy issue, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado praised President Trump for the U.S. capture of former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. However, the president has not endorsed Machado to be Venezuela's next president. A new poll shows a majority of Americans think President Trump's first year back in the White House was a failure. That's according to 58% of respondents in a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. On the other hand, nearly 9 in 10 Republicans approve of his performance. Roughly 2/3 of respondents want President Trump to focus on the economy and reduce prices. Even 42% of self-described MAGA members think he should be doing more. The poll also shows growing pessimism about the country's economic future. The average cost of a new car is at a record high. According to Edmunds and Kelley Blue Book, the average cost for a new ride is now around $50,000. No new models under $20,000 remain on the market, and importing cars and auto parts cost 25% more now due to tariffs. The cheapest new car is the 2026 Hyundai Venue. That's at $20,550. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, need some help ironing or steaming your clothes? We'll test out a product that's supposed to basically do it for you.
And I'll have the latest on the First Alert weather days that continue up until Monday.